The sun was high up in the sky, the high school was filled with students, laughing, chatting, working, studying. It was like any other day, was it? Fat freak, look at her shaking. Who told you that you could wear a skirt? Another day, more humiliation. It was always the same. Wherever Ryan walked by, she got to hear those comments. It was as if they took her as their laughing back. Ryan walked past everyone pretending not to hear anything, but she did. She always did. What would rebelling do to her? Create more trouble? She realized long ago. What was harder for those without Instagram filter beauty? Suddenly, someone pushed her. She stumbled trying to save the books in her hand but ended up falling on the floor. Laughter erupted. Mira stood above her, blonde hair, glossy lips, and eyes of a witch. She was pretty, a kind of girl who was the crush of so many boys. Mira, oops, can't you see? Or, are you that bad at controlling your own weight? She mocked. Wine was chubby, and everyone took that for fun, to make fun of her, to laugh at her. At home as a child, she was always loved for being chubby. Her round cheeks were always kissed. Her parents and uncle always showered her with affection, until she started her high school and became a target of bullying. Slowly and gradually, she fell into depression and became a part of insecurity. No matter how much she tried to escape it, going through the same humiliation every day started to suffocate her. Vine inhaled sharply, pushing down the ache in her chest as she bent to pick up her books. Her hands trembled. She hated that they trembled. Mira, maybe if you lost a few pounds, someone would actually look at you. She froze. That one cut deeper. Because it was true, wasn't it? She had seen it the way boys looked past her. Like she was nothing more than air. Like she didn't exist. Except for one person, Jungkook. He was a mystery. No one dared to talk about. He was the guy who sat in the farthest corner of the room, never speaking unless absolutely necessary. The guy whose name alone sent chills down everyone's spine. The guy no one wanted to cross because those who did simply ceased to exist. There were rumors that he had broken a senior's jaw in a fight, that even teachers acted carefully around him. And yet, every time Vine turned her head, she caught him staring. Not in the mocking way others did, not with disgust or amusement, but with something passionate, something she couldn't quite name. Ryan, I don't care what you say about me. You think you're better because you're thinner, prettier? They just makes you shallow. Silence, then laughter. Mocking, amused. That's exactly why I once stopped putting on a fight. It always backfired. A harsh shove made her stumble back against the lockers. They rattled loudly. One hissed in pain. Then she splashed soda on her uniform, dirty, sticky, and cold. It dripped down. Laughter exploded around her, loud, overpowering, a wall of noise that crushed her breath. She couldn't move, couldn't blink. Tears burned the edges of her vision, but she refused to let them fall. What was so funny about someone's pain? Mine's eyes filled up with rage, rage that was never going to help her because she was weak. She glared at Mira and balled her fists. But then silence fell over. The laughter died, people stopped talking, stopped eating, hulled, they even stopped breathing. A single presence, footsteps, slow, powerful. The crowd parted like instant alarm forced them to move. Jungkook. Ah, he hated attention. No matter how secluded he tried to stay, he was just born to be attentive. His aura demands presence from people miles away. Jungkook's gaze took in the soda dripping down Wine's uniform, the books scattered on the floor, the way her hands were balled into fists. His gaze lifted to Mira, whose smirk disappeared. It didn't take a genius to tell he was mad. JK, kneel and apologize. Mira's mouth opened, then closed. Then she chuckled nervously. Mira, what? JK, make me repeat only if you can handle the consequences. Mira, you can't be serious. She scored, though her voice was trembling. She looked around, seeking help, but no one dared to intervene. Jungkook had spoken, and when he spoke, people obeyed. Seconds passed like hours before Mira swallowed thickly, her legs wobbling. Then, to her utter disbelief of everyone watching, she sank down on her knees. Mira, I'm sorry. JK, not to me, to her. Mira turned to Wine, her jaw clenched so tight it looked painful. Mira, I'm sorry. Wine just stared, her heart hammering in her chest. She hadn't asked for this, but at the same time, it felt like justice. JK, do you forgive her? His attention was on Wine, as if the girl on her knees didn't even matter in his eyes. Wine took her time. The taste of justice and feeling the power she did in that moment was too good. She felt too good. Wine, no. Mira widened her eyes, feeling the humiliation hit her like a truck. Take it. You'll stay here until she forgives you. Doesn't matter if she herself is here or not. Move, and I'll show you what happens when you disobey me. Mira closed her fist, her knuckle turning white. She wanted to scream or probably murder someone out of her anger, but she stayed. Feeling helpless as ever, she stayed there, on the floor, on her knees, waiting for forgiveness. Jungkook turned back to Wine, reaching out for a second. She thought he was going to grab her hand, but instead he plucked a stretched strand of hair from her forehead and flicked it aside, his fingers barely brushing her skin. "Zeke, come." And Wine, without even questioning, followed. As they left the cafeteria, a message was left to everybody as well. Wine was untouchable from there onwards. As she followed him, she saw it, the way people moved and cowered in fear or respect as he moved past them. She had seen or heard it a lot of times, but the experience it beside him was a whole different thing. They entered an empty music room. As he shut the door behind him, she felt they were in a different way, away from everyone, all alone. Without a word, he pulled off his blazer and handed it to her. "JK, change into this. Your clothes are sticky." She took the blazer. It smelled like him. Jungkook turned around himself, respecting her space. She changed into it and buttoned it up. I almost wanted to cry in that moment. It felt so good. She was chubby and always called huge. She had her own fears, but in that moment, she wore his blazer on her big body. It still covered her. No, it was still big on her. It was warm. It provided her with a sense of protection and affection. Why? Why did you do that? JK, because I wanted to. Why? That's not an answer. Give me a reason. No, you're always staring at me. He chuckled. Then he turned towards her. He stepped forward and one stepped back until her back hit the wall. Jungkook's hand came up, palms flat against the surface on either side of her head, caging her in. JK, so you noticed. Of course you did. Did anyone tell him how much attention a single movement of his cord would take? A deep breath and the whole class would know. How could she not notice their intense stare all the time? JK, you're an idiot. Do you really not see it? He whispered. He was close, too close she could hear, see, or understand nothing in that moment. His scent made her dizzy. Wine, see what? It's okay. You're mine, Wine. Have been for a long time. All this time, I let them do whatever they wanted. I watched. I waited. Because I wanted you to take a step for yourself, which you did today. And I knew the second I stepped in, you'd never be able to walk away from me again. It was understandable she wanted him. The one who was handsome, powerful, protective. Even saved her when the world made fun of her. But why would he want her? Her. She had no confidence in herself. Why? You want me? Why? What's there to want? His eyes didn't waver. He only leaned in closer until she could feel his touch. His lips touched her chubby cheek before he kissed it and took it between his teeth, almost biting it ever so softly. Take this. She held her breath as his kisses and bites moved down to her jaw. This. Then her neck. This. All of you. I want all of you. Jungkook. She whispered his name, and that alone drove him to the edge. He pulled back and cupped her cheek. Take I'll win you. For today, go home, tuck yourself in bed, and treat yourself a warm cup of coffee as a victory. No one will dare mess with you ever again from now on. You're free. Wine. About Mira? JK. She stays there. She can deal with her tomorrow. And Mira did. Not even teachers dared go against JK. The girl was horrified when the next day came. Spending an entire night all alone in a school had haunted her for life. That is the message she spread across the school. Whoever messed with her was going to experience pain.